The Marvel Cinematic Universe might have just found his very own Superman, a hero with unbelievable power, near immortality, and godlike strength. And his name is Simon Williams, better known as Wonder Man. With his new series recently airing on Disney Plus, the entire power scale of the MCU might just be in for a serious shakeup. So who is this guy? Really? Today I'm going to dive deep into the comic origins of Simon Williams and explore how the villainous Baron Zemo turned a washed up businessman into a pure being of godlike energy who can actually go toe to toe with Thor. Then we'll get into the truly staggering list of powers and breakdowns and why his arrival as MCU's newest heavy hitter changes everything. Long before he was Wonder Man, Simon Williams was pretty much defined by failure. When he first showed up in the comic Avengers, issue number 9 in 1964, Simon wasn't a super soldier, a spy, or a god. He was just a guy who inherited his father's company, Williams Innovations, a direct competitor to, get this, Stark Industries. But while Tony Stark was a genius and a brilliant CEO, Simon Williams, well, he wasn't. Living in the shadow of his father and constantly getting outplayed by Stark, Simon made one terrible business decision after another. It didn't help that he was being manipulated by his brother Eric Williams, a name you might recognize as a future villain, the Grim Reaper. To save the company, Simon embezzled funds, but the whole thing blew up in his face. Williams Innovations went bankrupt, and Simon Williams went to prison, blaming one man for his ruined life, Tony Stark. This is the key to understanding him. He doesn't start as a hero. He starts from a place of shame, resentment, and feeling like he's not good enough. And that vulnerability made him into a perfect pawn for one of Avengers' greatest enemies. That enemy was Baron Zemo. Zemo and his Masters of Evil saw a golden opportunity in the disgraced Simon Williams. They needed a weapon, someone strong enough to infiltrate the Avengers, and Simon's pure hatred for Tony made him a perfect volunteer. Zemo bailed Simon out of jail and made him an offer that he couldn't pass up, a chance at revenge. He flew Simon to a secret lab in the Amazon and promised him the power he needed to crush Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers. The only price was total loyalty. Desperate, Simon agreed. He willingly let Zemo use him as a guinea pig in a dangerous experimental procedure. What Simon didn't realize was that the experiment would work better than Zemo ever dreamed. It wasn't just going to make him strong, it was going to fundamentally rewrite his existence. Zemo's process zapped Simon to a massive bombardment of pure ionic energy. This wasn't about building muscle, it was about tuning your body into a living battery of immense power. The experiment was a success, and Simon Williams was reborn as Wonder Man, a being of pure ionic energy. Let's talk about what that power level really means. The experiment gave him superhuman strength that instantly puts him in the big leagues of Marvel's strongest characters. I'm talking about the heavy hitters. He's now on the level of Thor and the Hulk. He also became nearly invulnerable. Bullets, explosions, and extreme temperatures were suddenly no big deal. His body was now a self-sustaining generator that didn't need food, water, or oxygen to survive. But Zemo, always a manipulator, built in a clever lie. He told Simon the transformation was unstable and that he would die within a week, unless he had a special antidote that only Zemo had. It wasn't true, of course, but it was a perfect leash. With a new costume and a rocket belt to fly, Simon was given his mission: join the Avengers, earn their trust, and then, when they least expect it, betray them. Posing as a new hero on the scene, Wonder Man staged a fight against Zemo's Masters of Evil, and won, which earned him an invitation to join the Avengers. The plan was working. He was on the inside, earning all their secrets, and just waiting for Zemo to give him the signal. But then something unexpected happened. For the first time, Simon Williams wasn't just seen as a failure, he was treated like a hero. He witnessed the Avengers' genuine friendship, their selflessness, and the dedication in protecting people. Fought beside them and felt what it was like to use his incredible power for good. The guilt started to set in. The honorable ideals of the Avengers, especially Captain America, began to wear down on his resolve. Zemo finally gave him the order to attack. Simon had a choice to make: obey the man who gave him the powers, or stand with the heroes who showed him what true strength was. In a moment of heroic defiance, Simon chose the Avengers. He turned on Zemo and saved the team from a deadly trap. But his choice came with a price. Still believing Zemo's lie about needing the antidote, Simon collapsed, believing that he was dying. He died in the arms of his new friends, a hero. Of course, in the comic books, death is rarely the end of a story. Wonder Man's body was preserved, and his unique brain patterns were recorded by Hank Pym. This is a huge deal because those exact brain patterns were later used by Ultron as a template for the mind of a brand new synthezoid, the Vision. Right from the start, Vision was, in a way, Simon's brother. Simon's body was eventually revived, first as a zombie by his now villainous brother, the Grim Reaper, and later fully resurrected as a stable being of pure ionic energy. This is where his powers leveled up even more. He no longer needed a rocket belt. He could fly at a supersonic speed on his own. He can now fire powerful blasts of ionic energy from his hands and his eyes, and some stories show him manipulate energy fields and even shift in his form. He essentially became immortal, an energy being who could regenerate from almost any injury, with his power growing each time he reformed. This new form is deep in his connection to the Scarlet Witch, Wanda as his lover, and Simon as his brother, eventually grew into a complicated romance, pulling him even deeper into the Avengers family. Now for the big question. His power set easily makes him one of the most powerful beings on Earth. His strength is consistently shown to be on par with Thor, and he has gone toe-to-toe or head-to-head with monsters like the Red Hulk and the Abomination and walked away the winner. His durability might be even more impressive. Wonder Man has survived falling from orbit without a scratch and has regenerated from what should be a certain depth. But his most unique and devastating ability is his control of ionic energy. He can project it, absorb it, and use it to disrupt almost anything. His power is also tied to emotions, like the Hulk. The angrier and more determined he gets, the more powerful he becomes. So when you combine that god-tier strength, true invulnerability, flight, energy projection, and functional immortality, the Superman comparison isn't just clickbait, it's a real starting point for his potential. He's a walking, talking, nuclear deterrent who also happens to be a pacifist at heart, which creates a fascinating internal conflict. After his resurrection, Simon did something no other Avenger had ever done. He became a movie star. He moved to Los Angeles and launched a successful career as an actor and a stuntman, balancing his celebrity life with his duties as a founding member of the West Coast Avengers. This adds a whole nother layer to the character. He's a hero who understands fame and media in a way that Thor or the Hulk never could. The MCU series leans heavily into this. It portrays Simon as a struggling actor in a world already full of superheroes and aliens. The show, which premiered on January 27th, mixes Hollywood satire and superhero action. The introduction of Wonder Man in the MCU is a game changer for the power hierarchy. The show introduces him as an actor who discovers he has superhero strength and can create energy blasts. But that's just scratching the surface. As the MCU moves forward with bigger cosmic threats, a hero with Wonder Man's potential for century-level power becomes an essential piece on the board. I'm looking at you, Secret Wars. His comic book connections to the characters we already know are huge. His brain brother, linked to Vision, opens up fascinating new story possibilities after the events of WandaVision. Now, I don't know if anybody caught it, but they had a picture of Vision in the show Wonder Man on the board when he was visiting the director's house. So, they're starting to lay the seeds right there. Had they not killed off Scarlet Witch, there could have been potential for a romance there. We'll just have to wait and see about that. I don't know how they're going to explain that, but it is the multiverse. However, if she does return, he'll be a stabilizing dynamic for her character, and his role as the founder of the West Coast Avengers could pave the way for a whole new superhero team. The Wonder Man series released under the Marvel Spotlight banner, so it's basically a character-driven story first. It's a more grounded and personal story that explores his struggles with fame and his emerging powers. But don't let the comedic tone fool you. The MCU is planting seeds. By introducing a hero who is functionally immortal and has a power ceiling that rivals Captain Marvel and Thor, they are setting up a new benchmark. When the next major threat arrives, Doctor Doom, a fully realized Wonder Man won't just be on the front lines. He very well could be the difference in leading the charge. Wonder Man is so much more than just another strong guy. He's a failed businessman, a reluctant villain, a sacrificial hero, an immortal energy being, a movie star, and an Avenger. Not to mention, he's in a romance. He's a deeply complex character. He's torn between his ego and his guilt, his immense power, and his desire for peace. He represents a major shift for the MCU, introducing a power level that truly rivals the strongest heroes that we have, and it's all wrapped up into a unique package of a Hollywood celebrity. I actually enjoyed doing this deep dive on this character, because I really enjoyed the Disney Plus series, and my hot take is it's a top 5 MCU show as of today. But that's for another video. But this character has so many connections that I had no idea. Like, after reading all of this, he's touching everything in the MCU, and he seems very vital to what they have going forward. So what do you think? Did you learn anything? I mean, this man can go toe-to-toe with Thor and also accept the Oscar at the same time. Like, that's just crazy. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay up to date with more things Marvel, be sure to like this video and subscribe. And thanks for watching.